It's Thanksgiving, y'all, and I am talking about mushrooms. Anyway, the classic Julia Child with the big bird is my background today. It is Turkey Day. My bird's in the oven. I think I'll post pictures of it next week. Over the next couple of weeks, there's going to be shows about mushrooms. I got these four gorgeous mushrooms. Going to do a Alfredo type sauce, then our little red sauce, and then I'm going to do a brown sauce. Okay, y'all, enjoy the day. Happy Thanksgiving. It's Big Bird Day. No, that's. How does a turkey do it? I don't know how to make a turkey sound. Peace. Spread love. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, take a look at this. This is a beautiful mushroom. This is a lion's mane, sometimes called snowball or snow puff. So many different names in different parts of the country. It's a beautiful white mushroom with a delicate. It's quite delicate and beautiful flavor. Today I'm going to use this along with oyster mushrooms, although I'm showing you shiitake right now. So I'm going to use the shiitake, the lion mane, giant trumpet. Wow, that looks beautiful. And we're going to, whoo, is that a gorgeous mushroom or what? Wow. Can't wait to cook those, I'll tell you that. As well as some wonderful information about all four of these beauties. Boom shaka laka. Yeah, it is all about the fungi today. In fact, over the next 3 days, I've got these four gorgeous mushrooms, and I'm going to make three different sauces today, right now. It is, what, Friday the 16th or 17th, honey? I'm going to make a 17th, she says. Okay, so I'm going to make a Alfredo type sauce, a white sauce, with the trumpet. I'm going to use all four mushrooms in each recipe. So we'll talk about this one right now. It's a white sauce. Look at that beautiful trumpet, giant trumpet. We're going to slice those up along with some oyster mushrooms. Probably I almost said that word, my favorite. I love them all. So it's like, how do you choose your favorite child? The one with the straight A's, the one that gives you room in the house for retirement? Is that your favorite child? Look at this lion's mane. That is a gorgeous mushroom. I love that smell too. It's very clean. All of these are totally organic mushrooms. Beautiful. The shiitake. Just love these. And later on, I'm going to buy some of the giant shiitake. I'm going to take those out to the grill. So, more facts and fun things about the shiitake, the oyster, and giant trumpet, as well as the snowball mushroom on today's Curtis Aikens Show. Peace, spread love. Okay, so ingredients for this wonderful sauce, our Alfredo type sauce. Mushrooms, of course. I'm going to use two of those gorgeous giant trumpet. I've got some of the, maybe about an ounce or two of the snowball. Oyster mushrooms and shiitake will make up the bulk of this. Now, some garlic, of course. I'll just take my garlic press and squeeze that in. Most Alfredo sauces don't use onion. However, I've got this onion in the fridge. I want to use it up. I might use some of the white onion as well. I've got nutmeg. That's my add a little mojo to my work in there. Butter, of course. Milk. You can use whole milk or skim milk. In fact, I just left the doctor's office, and soon I'm going to create the same recipe using skim milk, and I'm going to cut the butter in half. Not tonight though. Tonight so it's Friday. We're going to party like a rock star. A little bit of olive oil, and that helps to raise the smoking point of that butter. I've got some grated Parmesan cheese, salt, and pepper. All right, let's prep our veggies and then go to the stovetop and do some cooking. Peace, spread love. I'm gonna chop our mushrooms, of course, and I want these beautiful giant trumpets. I want you to be able to see the shape of those. Isn't that gorgeous? Reminds me of time I was in Italy, and these look like porcinis, however they are not. Beautiful. And the story in Italy was that they brought the porcini mushrooms out to the table, and you could choose your mushrooms like you do at a great steakhouse and choose your steaks. Blew me away. So the server showed me all these gorgeous porcinis, and he says, "So how would you like them prepared?" I'm doing a lousy Italian accent, and I said, "Or which ones would you like?" He said, and I go, "All of them. How would you like them prepared?" Any way you want to. They were the most incredible mushrooms. Now, I'm not over chopping these. I want those to keep their shape because I think I've shared with you in the past how much Lisa loves mushrooms. So, you know, happy wife or future wife, happy life. That's right. Girl, you're going to get me in trouble over here. So we got the giant, we got the snowball and the giant mushrooms chopped. Look at those oysters there. Beautiful. They're growing a nice little cluster like oysters in this sea. And then what's left? The shiitake. And I'm placing all these on this gorgeous wooden cutting board. So we can put them right into the pan. Now, our shiitake. And I'm going to leave the stems on these tonight. Normally I take the stems off. However, I'm going to let these cook a little longer. And I think Lisa may enjoy that extra mushroom flavor that goes in there from the stem. Mushrooms are loaded with all those earthy type minerals. And you say, what are those, Curtis? Potassium, phosphorus, there's zinc, all those earthy type things, iron. So those minerals that you may not get in your normal, what is normal, right? There's no such thing as normal anymore, but you may not get in just dishes that you see. So if you need things like that, phosphorus, potassium, other than bananas and things, you can get them in your mushrooms. Mushrooms are loaded with so many wonderful qualities. And they taste great. That's right. Who said that? That's right. That's right. Just take your time, cut these up. Beautiful mushrooms. We'll talk about how to buy mushrooms a little later in the show. And behind me, I've got a pot of water going with, I've got some salt, I've got some olive oil in there, and I'm going to go ahead and start to cook our noodles. I think I've got fettuccine tonight. Fettuccine is great with Alfredo sauces, Alfredo type sauces, because this is not a true Alfredo. It's kind of my rendition. I don't want Fredo getting mad at me. Fredo. We've been watching that show on, what is it on Paramount Plus, honey? The one with The Offer, yeah. The story about the making of the movie The Godfather. Wow. If you have not seen that, put it on your must check out list, okay? So now we're going to switch to this cutting board to my right. Let's take and chop up our onions. I'm going to need to find a garlic press. I'm just going to use that little bit of onion right there. That is mushroom on the blade there, so don't think, just a little bit of onion there. Just chop those up nicely. We are just about ready to move to stovetop to make our Alfredo. Okay, here we are at stovetop. I've got all of my ingredients, as my kids used to say when they were little boys, that when we were cooking together. The pasta is cooking. Pasta. Did I say that right? Pasta. The pasta is cooking. Let's go ahead and add our saute pan to the stovetop. I'm going to add a big old plunk of butter and let that melt. I'm going to add just a teeny bit of oil. Why do we add olive oil here? Well, it helps to raise the smoking point of that gorgeous butter. Okay? And that may be enough butter. And as this is melting, we're going to go ahead and add our onion. The onion. Justin Wilson, I like the way you said, woo, the onions taste good, critters. Justin was one of those great Louisiana Cajun cooks back in the day. For those of you who don't know who Justin is, look him up. He was extremely entertaining. Oh, I love that sizzle. Snap, crackle, no pop. Onions in that butter. Just let those cook a bit. And while that is cooking, we will crush our garlic into there as well. Okay? Our garlic press. Can never go wrong with garlic, right? Lisa, is that okay to use a lot of garlic tonight?
Unless you're Dracula.
Unless you're Dracula. Count Dracula. Tonight, everybody else good to go? You think Graham's son's gonna like garlic?
We'll have to see.
Yeah, Graham's son. That's 2 cloves. Oh yeah, I'm gonna lower the heat just a bit. And what I'm gonna do now, because like I said, we're gonna make this gorgeous kind of Alfredo. Let's add our mushrooms. The butter's starting to brown, so I'm gonna lower the temp just a little bit. Get that butter incorporated throughout the entire pan. Woo! Now, we are almost ready to start adding our mushrooms, our fungi. I tried to find my chef wear mushroom pants so I could make the joke about being a fungi. Lisa's laughing over there, y'all. Hopefully you're laughing at home too. Not laughing at me, laughing with me. All right, garlic is in. I'm gonna set this to the side. We're gonna add our mushrooms next. Isn't that beautiful? I'm just gonna put them all in at the same time. Oh, that garlic smells so good. Whoop, I lost a couple, baby, I'm sorry. A couple jumped out. I'm gonna add a little salt and pepper here. We're just going to allow these to cook down. In fact, this is one of those times that it is okay to add a lid. Why add the lid, you say, or you ask? Well, it helps to bring the liquid, the moisture out of those mushrooms. Lisa loves pepper, so I'm going to add a little more pepper. See how those mushrooms are just soaking up all that butter and oil. So I'm going to add a little more. Then we're going to place the lid on. Everything's better with butter. Butter makes it better, baby. That's one of Mama's sayings. I'm going to toss it if I want that butter to get throughout all those mushrooms. The lid goes on. I'm going to let this cook for about 3 to 5 minutes, okay? Just cover them. Let them cook. Okay? Back in a minute. Well, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to let it cook off camera. 6:04, we'll get it at 4 minutes. Come back at 6:08. All right, it's about 6:06. Is it 6:06? Well, the mushrooms look good. While you're away, I add a little more oil. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at all the liquid, the juices have come out of there. What I'm going to do now is just simply lower the heat on our mushrooms way down. Now we're going to start to make our Alfredo sauce. I'm going to switch to a wooden spoon. Pardon my reach. I'm having to reach across the camera. I should have put my tools on the on this other side. Look at those. Aren't those gorgeous? They still have the shape of that gorgeous giant mushroom. We're going to start by adding a little flour in here. And this is, remember, you always got to make that roux, right? Got to make that roux. I'm going to cook that flour. And I like the wooden spoon for that. So we're just going to stir that in there a bit like so. Take your time, let it brown up. Add a little more flour. And there are other agents that you could use to thicken if you'd like. However, I just like flour. I love flour, I should say, with things like this. Cornstarch, if you wanted to, if you were, couldn't eat gluten, so you could use cornstarch or potato starch. I'm going to add just a little more butter, and I've got my camera, my lens that follows me. I'm adding a little more butter, that little fat there, to get that roux really looking good. I'll sprinkle my nutmeg in now. Did you lose me, Mr. Cameraman? A little nutmeg. Not too much. Now, here comes the gorgeous stuff. We're going to add our milk. It's beautiful. Can you smell it, Lisa Cobb?
It smells great.
Looky. I'll let this cook maybe a minute or two. I still have more milk. Notice how I turn that flame down. I don't want to scorch the milk. I just want it to come up. Oh, look at that. Our Alfredo's really getting nice and thick now. Oh, I was telling you about the movie, the show we're watching on Paramount Plus called The Offer. It's about the making of the movie The Godfather. If you have not seen this show, check it out. It's absolutely incredible. Just loving it. And let this just cook down. Wait a minute. Oh, and when you start to move this with the wooden spoon, you can feel the sauce thickening up. Cooking is like a lot of things. A lot of it is done by feel. The more you do it, the easier it gets, and you'll start getting, it's almost like muscle memory for athletes or for, dancers, whatever it is that you really enjoy. Try to, if you don't like to cook, think about something that you love to do and see how you can incorporate that into your cooking. Like me, I don't get to play as much golf as I once did. So the concept or the thought of like feeling a putt with your feet is kind of the same technique I'm using, or feeling a putt through the fingertips. I use that type of philosophy and thought process with my spoons as I'm cooking here. Now look at that. That sauce is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, nice and creamy. That's a beautiful Alfredo, if I say so myself. Now I'm going to add my Parmesan cheese. Did I say Parmesan again? I keep saying it wrong. Parmesan cheese. And I'm actually going to turn the heat off. Okay? And just allow that to melt. Now, we're going to drain our pasta. I'll do that off camera. Oh, look at that. Look at that sauce. Woo! Baby. You got to always test it for your seasoning, salt, pepper, that type of stuff. All right. I'm going to drain the pasta. We'll add the pasta to the sauce. We're ready to serve. We are ready to serve. Many different ways to serve this. However, I've got the pasta here, sauce here, and a bowl. So let's take, oh, look at that nice hot. I could actually pour all the sauce in there. However, I love to take the noodles and add right to the sauce. And we're going to toss it. Serve it, serve it, serve it. You hungry, baby?
Yeah.
All right. And I think I've shared with you all in the past, you all at home, that I like my pasta a little past al dente. You know, the classic Italian way is al dente. It's just that my system does not digest the harder pasta, the more, I shouldn't say hard, the more firm pasta. So I cook it till it softens up, and my system takes it in much better. So remember, there are always more than one way to build a bridge or to get from point A to B and back home safely to A. All right, so now, there we go. I'll remove that. Now we're just simply going to toss it up and turn everything over. Ooh, baby, baby, that looks good. Now tomorrow, and this will all be one show, however, tomorrow I'm going to make a brown sauce, in other words, like a mushroom gravy. Now, I want to serve it over mashed potatoes. However, Lisa does not like that idea, so I may do it two ways. I may make more pasta for her, and I'll do a mashed potatoes for me. And then we'll serve it up with a vegetable on the side, okay? People say, well, what do you mean potatoes? Remember, pasta is a starch as well. Potatoes are a starch. So, you know, I'm just substituting one starch for another. Okay, oh, that looks good. Okay, let's serve it up a little bit. Now, this is totally vegetarian. There's no meat in this. However, if you want to add some chicken or whatever, feel free to. I don't think it would hurt it at all. This is Curtis Aikens, not your French chef. However, bon appetit. I'm sorry, that's for you, Julia. Bon appetit. I still love watching those episodes of the French chef. Okay. I'm holding it down so the camera 2 can get it. Oh, I should have twirled better. Winner, winner. Mushroom Alfredo dinner. Peace, spread love. Next recipe, I'm going to either do the brown sauce, the gravy, and mushrooms, or I'm going to do one with the red sauce. One or the other. Okay, peace, spread love. Dinner served, lover. Messing up, all right? So sometimes I want to put things on the actual surface. Most of the time, I'll use something like this. Okay, ooh, this is a country tip, not a pro tip. I'm a seed saver. So just place a piece of paper towel on that cutting board, and those beautiful tomato seeds will stick to that paper towel. I'll let that dry, then I can plant them this summer. There we go, we're ready to roast now. A little olive oil on our toast. Drizzle a bit on those tomatoes. Toss it over. And the salt. What the salt does, not only flavors it, it also helps to bring the moisture out of the tomatoes. Now I'm just cleaning this bottom of this onion, red onion. I notice I just clipped that off, but I kept the root attached. Again, that's that safety thing. I'm gonna do some rings, same tip. I'm gonna slice it. I want halves here, so I didn't dice this. We're going to use this yellow tomato. Can you pause the video right there for a second, Emma? I'm going to talk about that beautiful yellow tomato. All my life, I had learned, or we talked about the tomatoes. The yellow tomatoes didn't have as much acid in them, and you know, especially at this mature age, sometimes things may affect my tummy ways that it didn't years ago. So I prefer the less acid tomatoes. However, in my master gardener class, they're saying that there's no difference in the acidity in the yellow or whatever color the tomato is. Now, I wonder if it's the placebo effect because, you know, they don't give me any kind of acid problems in my tummy, whereas certain red tomatoes do. Okay, that's enough of talking about acid in tomatoes. So can you start it back up there, Emma? Thank you. I just love that color. It's like the sunshine. Now that looks ugly, right? There's a reason I'm doing this. That's that Nona's drizzle. I put it on the bottom of the plate, and then I put my arugula on top because arugula, rocket, as they say in South America, has a little bit of a bite to it. So I put that balsamic on the bottom there, so the arugula will take that sweetness up and tame some of the bite. So here's that beautiful yellow tomatoes, burrata cheese. Now, burrata, we'll talk about that. It is a mozzarella, and it is just kind of formed into a case and then soft in the middle. Look at that. I'm gonna open it up like a flower. Let's garnish this. This is our first burrata caprese, okay? Arugula, onions, balsamic drizzle, along with some cherry tomatoes and basil garnish. These are those roasted tomatoes, the roasted cherry tomatoes. And remember, you can roast whole tomatoes as well. Now here's our trick again with dicing the onion. See that? Now what? I'm gonna make a finer dice on this one. See how close the knife is to the edge? Look at that. That's a really nice fine dice. There we go. Onions in there. A little bit of olive oil and salt. Where are you going, Curtis? Get back. There we go. We went to get the tomatoes. There we go. Now we're going to add those there. And you're going to see I'm going to pour the juices because they are so sweet. I want that in my caprese. A little bit of basil. I'm going to toss it over. And we're going to serve this more like a crostini as opposed. Oh, here I'm comparing the two burrata, two mozzarella. Remember, burrata is a soft center. It's a mozzarella that's been formed into a case, a kind of a casing for the softer middle. Hey, it looks like he's having trouble there. You know, can you pause it there for a second, Emma? I want to tell you guys this is a truth. I'm breaking myself up here because Lisa, I say, honey, please don't use the kitchen scissors to cut items other than food. And there I am using my kitchen scissors to slice open a bag. She is going to get me for that. Okay, roll the video, Emma. All right, now there's that soft mozzarella. And to see how the firm mozzarella is something that we use mostly in pizzas. You can also use it in a burrata salad. If you like it, use it. You don't have to go by what I go by. So we're gonna bring in our tomatoes. I think I'm gonna get a better container for this one, right? Let's see what we got. There we go. We added some salad to the bottom. We're putting the burrata on top of some basil leaf. And then we're just going to, there's that balsamic drizzle. Watch this. This is so, I've got to make this when we get done. I'm going to make another one today, just for me. A little lettuce on top. There's that grilled tomato burrata caprese. I love that. So beautiful. Whichever tomatoes you like, go for it. Oh, there he is, sneaking a taste in. There's Curtis George Aikens. Thumbs up. What do you think, Emma? You having fun?
Yep, that looked delicious.